Have you ever made a decision and later thought that wasn't really me? Because sometimes I wonder if everything is written, then why do we feel regret? And if nothing is written, then why does life feel guided? So let's talk about free will and destiny. Lately, I have been thinking about free will and destiny deeply. If Allah has decreed everything, then what exactly are we choosing? Because we say, I decided, but who is this I? The one that says, I chose this, or the one that regrets, or the one that reacts? Let me explain. Inside us, there are three layers. The first layer is the nafs, which is the ego. It is impulsive, it is reactive, it is hungry. It craves validation, control, and comfort. And then the second layer is the ruh, which is the spirit. I consider it a ray of light from something divine, from something infinite. And between the nafs and the ruh is the qalb, which is the heart. The heart is almost like a battlefield because think about it. Sometimes when we get angry, do we choose it? I don't think so. In fact, no, it happens. Just like that, many other emotions, they come into play. Neuroscience tells us something very interesting about reactions, that most reactions are patterns. They're patterns of conditioning, emotional memory, trigger loops, and the brain, it fires before awareness arrives. And that is when I realized something else, that whenever I think about free will, there are two voices inside me, one that doubts and the one that believes, then the one that asks difficult questions and the one that tries to make sense of them. It's almost like a conversation happening in my own head. So let's dive deep into that. If everything is predestined, then how do we have free will? We do have free will, but not in the way we think or imagine. At every moment, there are three doors presented to us: the door of Allah, the door of the shaitan, and the door of our nafs. Every thought, every reaction, every opportunity, and three doors. We walk through one, and behind it are three more, and then three more, and then three more. So, our life is not one decision, it is a sequence of doors and sequence of decisions. But if Qadar is already written, aren't those doors already chosen for us? Qadar is not a script controlling you like a puppet. It is a divine measure. It's the architecture of our life. So think of it like this. You are a sailor. The ocean is already there. The winds are already moving. The currents are already written. You did not create the ocean. You did not command the wind. But you do control the sail. Free will is exactly how you position your sail. Qadar is the wind that was always going to blow. You cannot stop the wind, but you can align with it or either fight it. And that choice determines how smoothly you travel. Do we have any say in the doors that are presented to us? The circumstances, they may not always be ours to choose, but the door that we walk through always is. The door of Allah brings you closer to your risk. The door of shaitan delays you and distracts you. It distorts perception. And then the door of nafs, it feeds the ego, attachment, fear. And here is the subtle part. Your risk can feel delayed or accelerated, depending on the door you repeatedly choose. But your qadar will never be taken from you. It can be delayed, it can be rerouted, it can be reached with friction, but it cannot be erased. That makes sense. But tell me something, how do risk and destiny come into this? That's a very good question. So risk is not just money. It is timing, clarity, peace, relationships, opportunities, and some of your risk is written, but your alignment determines how smoothly you reach it. If you choose the nafs relay repeatedly, you delay yourself. You choose distortion, you distance yourself from clarity. But if you choose alignment, you move towards what was always meant for you. Then how do I know what my qadar is? I like that question. Let's do a fun exercise. Close your eyes. Okay. Imagine yourself driving your dream car. You can see the steering wheel, the interior, the feeling of control. Yes, I can. I can see that. Right. Now imagine something else. Imagine you're driving and suddenly you see headlights coming towards you. You feel the tension in your chest. You can visualize both, right? Now, do you know why you can visualize both? It's because your mind can simulate outcomes. But here is what's deeper. The moment you buy a certain car or even dream to get one, you start seeing it everywhere. You never noticed it before, but now it is everywhere. Did the world suddenly change? Nope. It's your reticular activating system that changed. Your brain filters reality based on what you focus on repeatedly. Now bring this back to Qadar. If you constantly rehearse fear, your perception begins scanning for threat. If you constantly rehearse growth, your perception begins scanning for opportunities. Physics speaks about the observer effect. What is observed, it behaves differently. And neuroscience tells us the same, that what is focused on becomes neurologically prioritized. So maybe Qadar is not a single fixed outcome. Maybe it is a divine ocean of possibilities. And your consistent observation, or what you emotionally attach to, what you continuously mentally rehearse, tilts the sail of your perception. And that influences which door you even notice. Now I get it. There is a beautiful saying by a renowned Sufi poet: you are what you seek, not what you seek is seeking you. It means that you are it. You embody what you seek. And maybe the reason that you can visualize certain futures is because something in you resonates with them. The longing itself is evidence. You cannot deeply seek what has no trace within you. And what you seek shapes what you see. And what you see shapes what you choose. And what you choose shapes how your qadr unfolds. Now let's talk about the heart, the qalb. The qalb, it is not just emotional, it is perceptive. The heart, it turns. That is what qalb literally means, to turn. It turns towards ego or towards light. So every door you choose tilts the heart. And over time, your default state becomes your destiny. Free will, in my opinion, is not independence from God. It is your ability to rise above the nafs and align with what your spirit already knows. This really brings me to this thought that maybe destiny is the stage and free will is how awake we are on it. Maybe the world is an illusion and not fake, but incomplete, because what we see is just one facet of it. And from here, it feels absolutely real. Pain is real, choice is real, consequences are real. But beyond this layer, there is design. So the next time you say, I chose this, pause in that moment and ask yourself, which door did you walk through? The door of Allah, the door of shaitan, or the door of your nafs? And which part of you was holding the handle?